I want to share this quick experience. Real, and I was like Jehovah Rapha, because I was raised a Jehovah Witness, and I had my doubts and stuff. So I'm like, but everybody still uses the name, thinking it's the right one. That's because of the tetragram. So I was like, Jehovah, especially Jehovah Rapha, Raphael, which Raphael, Archangel Raphael, is connected to 29-degree Leo. It's now into Virgo because of the precession. But I'm like, and it sits in my on my rising. So I'm like, if you are real, can you make yourself known to me? In the form of Rafa is about love and healing, like medicine and communication, linked with mercurial energy. So I'm like, if you really are who you say you are, can you just show up for me? You know what I'm saying? Show me like love and forgiveness inside me, as well as love and forgiveness for others. Like, demonstrate that to me in your way so I know that you are real. Like, show yourself to me, so I know you are real, because I've asked and didn't really get no feedback or anything from that. So I'm like, okay, let me just. But I have dreams of like going back to like the hall and stuff and being welcome, but it's like I'm too advanced in my awareness of things to be there now, and I don't want to go through being rejected and someone trying to take me off my path, so I keep my distance. But I'm like, just show yourself to me in whatever, you know, truth that I'm able to understand, if this is what it is. And then I go on YouTube because I'm like, I'm tired of listening to, music or whatever. I want to just, listen to some deep info or whatever. So I go to YouTube. The first video that pops up is I done. I forgot how you pronounce her name, but it's like Formula Adunola. And the video talks about the guy's name being like question mark about what it is, and it being a woman. So I clicked play, and then she showed the tetragram and all the different pronunciations, and then she was about to go into how it's connected to the sound or the name Ayah, and then it ended up cutting off because pause. But then the woman got in the car. She was talking to me about a lot of things about what's going on in her relationship that she's learned over the years between her and her husband, and him technically being an immigrant, but he's from Cuba. He's African descent, and he grew up in Italy. And the kind of like struggles that they had together, but she was able to see him as a person and understand the struggles he go through individually and how it changed her, even though they have two totally different cultural backgrounds, and how they were able to stay strong in their relationship is by she had to allow herself to see things from his perspective, and it's hard to do, especially in this day and age, because everyone has a strong perspective of I want, I demand, instead of being open. And it really helped me to feel like, okay, I know I wasn't wrong, about how I feel, about what I feel when it comes to relationships, especially when, you and the other person are going through, y'all twins. It's like a twin flame journey. So y'all going through the same, or mirroring too. It's like y'all going through the same things. Y'all have the same understanding about things. You have the same values, the same like thoughts about how to handle things, and still trying to make sure you have that forgiveness in there, because at the end of the day, even if you can't do the bare minimum, of just trying to have a conversation and work it out, even if that gets too hard. And she was like, just pray, like just give it to God. It might not answer on your time, but it will be answered. And she don't even know how she wasn't answered. Just like that video is an answer to the exact prayer that I had just a few minutes to like almost an hour before, because we talked the whole 45-minute ride, because I'm determined to get my butt to Italy. So that's where a conversation started, but then it was like how it unfolded was like, you know, women has grown. That's what I was saying. Women have grown so much spiritually and become so aware of themselves that they've become, you know, master manipulators in the darkest of ways against men. And not every person deserves like some type of like insidious injustice for you to feel good about yourself. And I do feel like it's time for men to also experience the type of growth spiritually that women have been able to have since the 70s, with being open when things opened up, you know, for women to be financially stable outside of a man. And it's time for men to know what it's like to not have to be the ones to hold and shovel and do all the financial labor by themselves, because I don't believe in that. I don't necessarily come from that either. You know, my mother is the working woman. She is Sag, Sun, Sag rising, so she gonna get to it regardless. So for her husband to be the one at home and be the caretaker of the home, a lot of people might see that as a negative or like weak or something like that. And I don't think it is, because being a woman who has taken care of a home, plenty of homes, it's not an easy task. It's not an easy task, and I feel like men might actually be able to do it more efficiently than women do, because we are natural creators, and that is a matriarchal kind of thing. And women shouldn't limit themselves to being a stay-at-home mom if they don't want to, you know. And men shouldn't limit themselves from being to being a workhorse, which is why I wrote and created the digital book of Masculine Moon, because it goes into how men themselves as well as women need to be aware of men's emotional needs and how to meet them on a scientific level